The bureaucrat fell from the sky. So begins Stations of the Tide, produced by planet-dwelling human Michael Swanwick in Earth year 1991. Stations of the Tide is a book rich in sources of feline dreaming material, or imagination as it is sometimes mistakenly called. Classified by the ignorant, the lazy, as sci-fi, cyberpunk, it is much more accurately defined as undefined, or loosely, I suppose, as mystery techno-surreal, if you absolutely must have a label. As with many human fictions, this story tracks an investigator as they seemingly unravel a hidden truth and commence to go on and solve a mystery. Or so you would expect. In this case, he is tasked with divining the location and, perhaps, capture of one Gregorian, a so-called bush wizard, accused of using prescribed technology down on the planet of Miranda. Like your Earth, the planet Miranda is being prevented from using advanced technology. Unlike your Earth, the inhabitants of Miranda know of and have even, in their recent past, used such technology, but with disastrous mega-death consequences for the previous inhabitants of the planet. Still, the humans resent its removal. So Gregorian, with his promise of eternal life, has found it easy to manipulate the human occupiers of his native world, promising transformations so far beyond their understanding it might as well, as Arthur C. so famously said, it might as well be magic. Indeed, Gregorian has, using advertisements on the ubiquitous TV screens, styled himself upon being a magician and is scamming those in need. Or so the bureaucrat has been told. The bureaucrat, who is never named, descends on the world from above. He dwells in a space habitat and quite rightly despises rocky ball worlds. He expects a quick resolution to the case and longs for a return to his career above. In fact, a quick resolution is entirely a necessity, as Miranda is about to undergo a jubilee tide, a once-in-200-year planet-wide flood which will consume much of the rich inhabited land the humans have colonised. The apparently exterminated native sentient life form, the Haunts, had the ability to change form, to shapeshift, my kind of people. When the tides came, with no such adaptations, the human colonists must flee or die. But this is no ordinary detective novel. The bureaucrat solves no real mysteries despite owning the nanotech briefcase, and even his ability to multitask via robotic surrogates proves insufficient. Yet at the end of many twists, turns, and mysterious experiences, a final resolving event occurs. There is actually one true detective element to the story, because the detective, as it turns out, is you, dear reader. Understanding becomes clear only when you assemble all the clues which you must collect along the way, which is why, along with the many colourful and fantastic, drug-induced, sexual, virtual and even horrific, at times, events, it makes for such a rereadable novel. It has a depth, a vivacity and a certain mercurial quality that creates that rarest of qualities, thought. A novel of delusion, allusion and illusion. It shows that technology is no guarantee of understanding. Even the briefcase cannot see what it is ordered so not to do. Delusion is emphasised. It's especially apparent when it comes to human motivations. The bureaucrat assures us he knows why he's doing what he does, but he protests too much. And, more than that, deep down he knows it. Illusions are as widespread as a many-armed underwater creature, tentacles spreading out across all of human literature and mythology. There are links to Shakespeare's The Tempest and, by association, Forbidden Planet. Readers of Raymond Chandler would instantly recognise this setup. There are many swipes at established religions, from the 14 chapters and the title to the place names and events on Miranda. There was at least one virgin birth and one resurrection. And then again, readers of Kafka will easily recognise a type in the bureaucrat, with the twist that here the bureaucrat is seemingly attempting to unravel a mystery rather than obfuscate one. Nice touch. Heart of Darkness is also recognisable, as those with power take themselves deeper into territory that is not regulated, and thus offers opportunities for godhood. Even the Wizard of Oz could be called a cousin. The colour of magic is present in that walking AI briefcase, and William S. Burroughs would approve some of the psychedelic experiences our hero is forced to endure. Of course, this would be enough for most books, but not here. Events are mediated by somebody who may or may not at different times have clear motivation. In narration, the bureaucrat is unreliable. If he truly knows himself, he's not telling just yet. Though, ultimately, he reveals himself nonetheless, unravelled via his journey, which began by falling from the sky, continued with strange happenings aplenty, before his eventual descent into the beyond. Stations of the Tide. Definitely a Bibliocat kind of novel. Highly recommended.